What does queenology mean to the typical woman watching right now?
It's bringing the woman to a place where she can accept God's definition of her.
Okay.
Because when you look at the world today, you have a myriad of voices that are attempting to redefine the woman. And so the woman is listening to, male influencers. The woman is listening to the culture. The woman is listening to the broken sisterhood, the other women around her, as it relates to who she is and what she should be or strive for. But we have to bring the woman back to God's original plan, the Genesis plan, of her being a co-equal in dominion. And so queenology is bringing that woman back to consciousness of God's original plan, and then renewing her mind to a place or to a point where she accepts her destiny.
Yeah.
And she's able to, watch this, stand happily and healthily, if that's a word,
Right.
in her individuality. Where she's not like the typical woman who only views herself as a success within the context of a relationship to a man.
And what can we do as men to help that process begin?
Be the example, acknowledge the trauma we create on a daily basis. We know what we're doing. We get in front of these cameras on YouTube, and we say the things we say to these women. We know we're damaging these women. More women have to hear men be honest and say, well, this was not right, that was not right. And I think as women hear that and internalize it, the healing begins. The most important thing we can do as men is to really step up in terms of fathering our daughters.
Ooh.
You may not be able to help your generation, but you can definitely plant seed into the next generation, really intentionally pouring into the self-esteem of your daughters. Because I was kind of raised up in that generation where they said, well, 3 girls, 1 boy, 4 kids. Well, they said, well, daughters are a mama's job, sons are daddy's job. So you just finance the girls and just let them. And then it was later on in life that I realized that the sense of identity, the sense of security, the sense of self-esteem, the father pours that into the girls. So every man should step up in terms of how he fathers his daughters, his nieces, the young girls in the church, esteeming them and building them. And if this message can, and I'm listening to more brothers, I'm listening to more brothers that are coming out with a real balanced approach to manhood. They say, well, you either have simps or pimps, but there's another category called kings. And kings are men who know how to manage kingdoms. They're not managed by women like simps. They don't need to manipulate women like pimps. They are wise managers of kingdoms. They know how to identify and work with queens. And so these are, we have to simply be our best version as men. I think this generation of women they need to see more examples of authentic manhood, not this propaganda that we have out here today.
According to recent stats, only about half of African Americans have some form of estate planning put into place. This includes important documents like your wills, your trusts, and your power of attorneys. Additionally, only about 60% of all people have life insurance coverage. But why is it so important for not just Black people, but all of us to have these things put into place? You see, life insurance can provide financial protection for your loved ones in the event of your unexpected death. It can help cover funeral and burial expenses, pay off debts, and even your mortgages. But here's what I really want you to consider. It can provide income for your loved ones to build wealth with. You see, estate planning, on the other hand, can help ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes after your death, and that your loved ones are taken care of. If you truly love, and I mean this, if you truly, truly love your loved ones, don't leave their financial security at chance. I want you to get life insurance today. You can get a free quote with my friends over at Ethos by visiting anthonyoneal.com/life insurance or by clicking the link in today's show notes. Protect your family's future and give yourself peace of mind. Don't be in heaven and you're full of joy and your family is here on earth, struggling and stressed. Get life insurance today with my friends over at Ethos. Hey, now let's get back to today's show. I know it's a good one. So we talked about the men, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about what are the effects of women who have broken consciousness.
The inability to appreciate themselves as individuals.
Okay.
Can't see themselves as individuals. So what happens is they struggle with being alone. You know, they always got it. They're always out in the club, or they got to be out with their girlfriends. They shift from one meaningless relationship to another. Rarely do you find a season in her life where she's actually by herself and content. That broken consciousness won't allow her to actually be content and happy. She'd rather be miserable with somebody present than to be by herself. Can't appreciate, we just kind of talked about it, she can't appreciate quality men that really honor. It's almost like when a woman is struggling with broken consciousness, it's almost like an honorable man is boring. Come on, man. This is what I teach. I mean, I deal with this every day. It's like an honorable man is going to be a gentleman, and you know, he's boring. And so she goes back to, well, he's not my type. But the reality is, she's struggling with that broken consciousness, and she cannot celebrate. She cannot celebrate even the accomplishments that she's made, because she sees everything through the context of what's going on in the external world. She's not fulfilled internally, and she's trying to fill herself internally with external trappings, relationships, things, and labels, and all of the kind of stuff we talked about.
So for all of us watching right now, when it comes to the ladies watching, when it comes from men watching, I know they're probably saying, okay, Bishop, I hear you. Queenology and a conscious woman. I know they're probably saying, well, how do I know if I am a queen conscious woman? And for men, how do we know what a queen conscious woman looks like? Because I wish I knew this beforehand, because it's like, man, in the season of my life now, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. But how do I find a queen conscious woman?
Yeah.
What does that even look like?
Well, she knows who she is from her core.
From her core.
You know what I'm saying? Like you see, you see. Okay, let's do it like this. It's like Chevrolet versus Bentley.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
My God, I got a Bentley.
I have a friend that has a brand new Bentley and a brand new Rolls Royce, the truck thing, whatever that thing's called. He rode me around in it the other day.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you go to the Bentley place, you know, when you go to the Bentley place, you can't go in there talking about, you know, haggling and I don't think it's worth this.
No.
The people are gonna simply say to you,
this is the price.
Sir, this is the price. This is not the brand for you. Chevrolet is down the street. You can haggle for 8 hours a day if you choose to do so. Well, why is it that Bentley and Rolls Royce are going to hold true to their value? They are defined internally. You don't let the marketplace define them. And a queen conscious woman is not a woman that's going to allow you, me, or anybody else, or any group of men to come in and label her or put a price tag on her or rate her per se.
Yeah.
She knows who she is from the inside.
Inside, yeah.
And if you're not her customer, you're free to move on. She's not going to shift. She's a woman of standard. She's the kind of woman that a young king like you can trust.
Oh my God.
You can't trust a woman whose standards are always shifting. You know, she's a woman that has internal estimation. She has a high self-concept, but yet she's humble. She doesn't feel entitled. She's a queen conscious woman, is a woman that comes into a man's life, and she's not seeking to extract. She's seeking to deposit.
Wow.
She's adding. She's almost like the Proverbs 31 woman who had a husband who was a baller, but she had all of these other things going on. So she added to the, because a marriage is a merger of two great entities, and they come together to become something greater than either of them would have been as individuals. And so, you know, when you start talking about a queen conscious woman, man, she's a woman that always makes her man proud.
I cannot wait to meet that woman.
When you find the woman, or a woman, because I don't believe that there's just one woman in the world, but I believe there are certain kinds of women that fit certain kinds of men. You find the right kind for you, like I did, and you grow together, and she helps you, and you build. See, everybody today wants a man that's 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6-pack. Well, you know, high-value man, but what about the high-value couple? Sometimes a brother needs a woman that says, okay, I see your grind, I see your vision. Let me get in here and build with you.
Yes.
And let's build together. Well, that's what my wife did with me.
That's so powerful.
You know, so we built. There was no need for a prenup because there wasn't nothing to nup. you know what I'm saying? But we built together, and so you go through all of that where you reach the goals together, you grow older together, and then you have the history. Now we're in this point, at this phase in life where we have grandkids.
Yeah.
And now there's the history that it's amazing. The love grows deeper and deeper and deeper.
I have a hard time being vulnerable and being honest with my thoughts.
Correct.
Because when I'm vulnerable and honest with my thoughts, you then turn around and say, well, you shouldn't be thinking like that. That sounds like you're insecure. It sounds like you have this. Now I feel disrespected. Now I'm like, all right, cool. Let me shut up. Let me go in the corner and be goodbye. Then the next woman I get with, I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Correct. We're traumatizing one another.
But you're saying it all starts, though, with men.
Absolutely. A man, see, what a man is asking for, in your generation uses this, because I hear it a lot, you know, I'm the prize too.
Yeah.
What you're really saying is, I want a woman that's going to really submit to my vision and honor me.
Ooh, well, you said submit.
Yeah, submit. I did.
I see. You said submit.
Yeah.
You know, ladies don't like that term.
No, they don't like it. But here's the contextual approach to biblical submission.
Talk to us.
So the submission of the woman is a fruit. It is the honor of a man towards the woman that is the root. If you want to reap the fruit of submission, you must first sow the seed of honor. Ooh. A woman cannot submit to a man that is dishonorable. Now, if a man honors you and does not yield the fruit of submission, that is where your generation is having the breakdown. When you're honoring the woman, and you're doing your part, and she's yet so broken that she cannot yield the fruit of submission and respect, that's where your generation is having.
And when you say honoring the woman, is that per relationship, or is there general basics that all men should be doing in a relationship when it comes to honoring the woman? Because my generation will hear you saying, I think, ladies, I think when ladies hear that, it's like, okay, he's paying all the bills. He's a provider of the home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to work. He has that.
Yeah.
What else I think ladies are saying? Of course, he's being loyal and faithful to their marriage.
Correct.
You know, you have this generation, I think there's two kind of ladies in this generation. He pays all the bills, I'm 50-50, and we both run this house. There is no, I submit to him. It's, no, we gonna talk about this, and we both just gonna either agree, disagree, or argue it out.
Yeah. I think there is no cookie cutter. You know, what's worked for Lisa and I for 27, 28 years is not necessarily what's going to work for you in your future marriage.
Right.
And I think it's different across the board. Now, with this 50-50 or he pays all the bills stuff that you all are struggling with today, I thank God that I'm not out here trying to create nothing today, man. This is some crazy stuff.
It's hard, man.
It really is hard.
It really is.
It many times it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Because, what's the percentage of guys that make that kind of money that can give you that kind of lifestyle without you working?
Yep.
In most cases today, it's gonna require the teamwork.
It is.
And it's about the high value couple as opposed to
the high value man.
The high value man.
Yeah.
You sitting in the cut. When Lisa and I first got married, she made more money than me. She was an RN. I was a little broke preacher. I was a young broke preacher. So she made more money than me, much more money than me. But I never felt, less than the man. I was always the man. And I think the thing that really empowered us to navigate that season was that we never looked at the money in the house as this my money, that's your money. We had the understanding from the beginning, this is ours.
Absolutely.
And we're building this together. So though she was bringing more to the pot than me, it was our pot. I think today we're more selfish and we're looking in terms, because everybody's waiting for it to fall apart.
Right.
So we're looking at it in terms of, this is mine, that's yours. I need you to pay all of this, or I need you to be 50-50. Well, the whole principle of submission and honor is not based on finances.
Yeah.
It's based on looking at a man and saying, I want you to be my king, be my husband. Looking at a woman saying, I want you to be my wife, my queen. The financing part is a separate issue, but we made it the primary.